Then look further. Sarva guhyatamam bhuyah shrunu me paramam vachah ishtosi me dridham iti tato vakshyami te hitam. Again, he's saying again because Krishna had brought up this point earlier. Again, um, I'll explain why he had mentioned this again. Again, just hear from me the most confidential of all, the supreme instruction, which is the most confidential of all instructions. Because you are very dear to me, therefore I am speaking this to you for your benefit. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Notice he has used the word sarvaguhya tamam. This means most confidential. Tamam indicates most, superlative degree. Prior to this, in the previous verse, we saw guhya taram, which means more confidential. Taram indicates more confidential. Merely guhya indicates confidential. This is about Brahman, attaining Brahman. This is about attaining Narayana. And notice now he's saying that he is going to speak the most confidential instruction. And what is that most confidential instruction? Here he says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva eshyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Uh, just become a person thinking of me. Become my devotee. Become my worshipper. And offer your obeisances unto me. And certainly you will come to me. I promise this truly to you because you are dear to me. Notice this, that here uh, Krishna has specified that you will come to me. See, Mam eva eshyasi. You will certainly come to me. Okay, you will come to me. But if you look at, okay, anyway, I'll read the translation before I get back into an analysis. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Look at the previous explanations when Krishna had said, when you worship Narayana, uh, he had mentioned that the Supreme Lord is stated in is situated in the hearts of everyone. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, resides in the location of the heart of all living entities, O Arjuna, causing all living entities to travel um, under the spell of material energy. He's causing all these living beings who are placed as if on a machine, is causing all of them to travel under the spell of material energy. So the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. This is the Narayana form. We know this very well from the scriptures. And Krishna is also saying, Tam eva sharanam gacha, surrender unto that form of the Supreme Being. Surrender unto Him in every respect. Tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashwatam. You will attain Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is that abode where you have transcendental peace, and it is an eternal abode, and you get it by His grace. Where do you go? You go there. Krishna does not say you come to me. He says you go there. Of course, we also know very well that this personality, who is in the heart of everyone, he is the very same person that Krishna had said towards the end of the 10th chapter. Towards the end of the 10th chapter, that he is one part of Krishna. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Uh, by one part, I am situated, all pervading within this entire universe. This Paramatma is Krishna's Amsha. Amshena. Notice this Amshena. Amsha, part. This is a part of Krishna. And uh, Krishna is saying you worship this Krishna Swamsha, his personal expansion, and you will attain his abode by his grace. Notice the language he is using. You will attain his abode by his grace. You will attain the abode, the Vaikuntha abode by his grace. Surrender unto him, he's saying. He's not saying surrender unto me, he's saying surrender unto him. Then, if you go a little even earlier, you notice that he had spoken about what happens to those who worship the impersonal Brahman. And what exactly happens to them is set out here. This is what he had said. This is This is towards the end of the life of a Brahmavadi, one who is uh, not offensive, but he knows the Supreme Being, but he wants to merge into the Brahman. For that person, he is transcendently situated. He realizes Supreme Brahman, becomes fully joyful, doesn't lament, doesn't desire to have anything, is equally disposed toward every living entity. He attains pure devotional service unto the Lord, and then afterwards, because he wants to merge into the Supreme Lord, then he understands the Supreme Absolute Truth, and then Vishate Tadanantaram. Thereafter he enters into that. Thereafter he enters into the kingdom of God. So notice the language. He enters into that. Tat Anantaram. He enters into that. Having known me, he enters into that. That's what he's saying. But when you look at description of uh, this person, one who is taken advantage of the supreme instruction of Krishna. What is that supreme instruction of Krishna? The supreme instruction of Krishna is that we should think about him. We should become his devotee. This is a supreme instruction. Think about me, become my devotee. Uh, Notice this is what he's saying. Think about me means think about Krishna, the original personality of Godhead Krishna. Become my devotee means become a devotee of the original personality of Godhead Krishna. Become my worshipper means become a worshipper of the original personality of Godhead Krishna. Offer obeisances unto me means offer obeisances unto Krishna, the original personality of Godhead Krishna. Then one will certainly attain the original personality of Godhead Krishna. And he is promising this because Arjuna is very dear to the original personality of Godhead Krishna. So, and he's clearly saying, notice the language, it's very clear that Krishna is pointing out the supreme benefit of those who are surrendering unto him as the original personality of Godhead. And by implication, we understand that therefore the original personality of Godhead is Krishna. The original form of the supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna. That is the original supreme form of the personality of Godhead. And then he mentions this Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha. That abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. That this is the supreme instruction. These two verses, uh, the Sarvadharman Parityaja and the verse before that, Manmanabhava Madbhakto, as set out in 1865, um, that these two verses are the essential or the highest instructions of Bhagavad Gita is understood from the next text, 18.67. Notice here, he says, Idam te na atapaskaya na abhaktaya kadachana na cha ashushrushave vachyam na cha mam yo abhyasuyati. That this should not be spoken to, this should not, may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotion service, not to one who is envious of me. And next he says, Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu abhidasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mam eva eshyati asamshayaha. That anyone who explains this most confidential secret, look at this most confidential secret. If you remember, earlier also Krishna had said, I'm going to tell you the most confidential instruction. So this is the most confidential secret. 18.65 and 18.66. So anyone who explains this to Krishna's devotees, this most confidential secret, he, having done transcendental devotional service unto me, will certainly come to me. There is no doubt about it. Prabhupada often used to quote this and explain this is why we must propagate Krishna consciousness. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. He is saying that one who explains this to devotees, for him pure devotional service is guaranteed and he will come back to me. And the question may be asked, but we have been told by Prabhupada to explain the supreme secret to everyone, to non-devotees. Um, so how do we understand this? Now the point is, first of all, we take people and make them devotees of Krishna, then we explain to them the supreme secret. The supreme secret is not meant to be given to people who are not ready for it. Who are not ready for it? They are here. Those who are not austere, not devoted, not engaged in devotional service, not envious of Krishna. So for these people, the supreme instruction should not be given. The most confidential instruction should not be given, because they are not capable of following it. Rather, they should be introduced to Krishna consciousness, and then when they practice Krishna consciousness, they become devotees of Krishna. Then the supreme instruction should be given. So the fact that there are various levels of devotional service for various features of Krishna indicate that there are also gradations of these features of Krishna. That is the whole point of this long discussion. And this is what Prabhupada had meant by saying that in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asserts himself to be the original personality of Godhead. That he is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna is not just saying that he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the original form of the supreme personality of Godhead. And I had given some uh, evidences which point to this fact. Uh, he says directly. He also explains indirectly. And this is confirmed by Arjuna. How is it confirmed by Arjuna? It is confirmed here. Arjuna says, uh, Arjuna Vacha, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhom, Ahuswam Rashiyas Sarve, Devarshir Naradas Tatha, Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Cha Eva Bravishi Me. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, Adi Devam, the original Lord, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Deval, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. So it is clear that Arjuna has also understood the same point, that Krishna is not just an incarnation of Lord Narayana. He is the original source of Narayana. He is the original form. Narayana is his expansion. This is confirmed by Arjuna, who also cites great sages like Narada, Vyasa, and many others. In the Padma Purana, it is also stated that out of the innumerable names of the Lord, the name of Krishna is the principal one. This text from Padma Purana, in which Lord Krishna's name is said to be the principal one, um, is being presented by Srila Jiva Goswami in his commentary to the Brahma Samhita. This is Brahma Samhita. Uh, this is the actual edition that was printed by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Uh, he had printed it in the Devanagari Sanskrit text along with Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, and he had presented his translation and purport based on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's edition, Bengali edition. And here we notice clearly that here it is stated that in Prabhasa Khanda, Prabhasa Khande, Padma Purane cha, Shri Narada Kushadhwaja Samvade, Shri Bhagavaduktau, Namna Mukhyatamam Nama, Krishnakhyam Me Parantapa iti. Sorry. Uh, that Krishna is the original form, Mula Rupa. The original form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been stated in the Prabhasa Khanda portion of the Padma Purana, in, or this can also mean has been stated in the Prabhasa Khanda and the Padma Purana. It probably means it is in the Prabhasa Khanda of Padma Purana. I haven't studied Padma Purana, though I have it, so I'm not able to show you the actual location where it is. Shri Narada Kushadhwaja Samvade, in the conversation between Narada and Kushadhwaja, that's a statement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where he's saying, amongst the various names, my most primary name is Krishna, O destroyer of others, O uh, enemy of formidable opponents. Uh, you should know that Krishna is my primary name amongst my various names. And it is also stated in the Brahmanda Purana, in the 108 names of Krishna, that amongst the 1,000 holy names, by chanting them 3 times, the fruit that you attain can be attained by once chanting one name of Krishna. And this statement is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita, quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this Padma Purana text is that text. Although, all right, we'll continue later.